even during like Trump's administration, inflation was actually quite low. So that's not
No, it was low then, but it's not low right now.
Yes, but why was it low then? Would you say?
Well, because we had economic growth. And we weren't borrowing $2 to $3 trillion a year.
We actually were. We were borrowing quite a bit of money.
We were borrowing about $1 trillion a year.
Still quite a bit.
So we're borrowing about triple that right now.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
I mean, I think that's how the math works out.
So triple in the law of big numbers is a big deal. So borrowing $800 billion, not excusable. Borrowing $2.5 trillion, morally reprehensible.
Morally? Why exactly morally is there a distinction between 1 and 3 trillion? Very arbitrary.
Because everyone here is going to have to pay off that debt, and that dollar that you think is going to have value is decreasing by the day. Whether you're pro-choice or Democrat.
But inflation is something that's going to occur no matter what.
Can I finish? Okay.
I apologize.
It's okay. Inflation is not a guaranteed human norm. That's not true, but I'll get to that in a second. Every single person here, it will be harder than ever for you to own a home. So inflation is immoral because you're going to enter into a housing market where everything costs 3 times as much in the housing market than it did a decade ago. You will not be able to afford a down payment, let alone even be able to build the capital necessary for other goods and services that you might want to build wealth. And you know who does benefit is your parents' generation and baby boomers, no offense, that do own their assets and you won't. And so, secondly, inflation is a choice. It's not built into the human experience.
I'm talking about like crime that has to do with like getting food, getting stuff that you need to live.
Right, but we have food stamps for anyone that needs it, so that doesn't exist. We have subsidized housing for anyone that needs it, so that doesn't exist. We have free health care for any poor person that wants it, called Medicaid, that doesn't exist. We also have welfare, cash, for anyone that wants it, so that doesn't exist. So what is it they're missing that they need to go, sorry about that.
Well, the food, like a lot of food stamps might not cover all of what they need, and also housing is like, there's not unlimited housing. A lot of people who are unhoused have to like go to shelters, and then they get kicked out of shelters because there's a mandatory stay limit. So it's not like you just get a house.
It's not a stuff thing, though, right? It's like if you need stuff, there's also tons of charities out there that can provide assistance, churches. You will not go hungry in this country. You will not starve in this country.
Yes, you will. There's
no, we have an obesity problem.
Street?
We have an obesity problem, not a starvation problem in this country.
What are you talking about?
In State Street, if any one of those people went to the local Episcopalian church or Methodist church, they will get fed. I guarantee it. If they go to a local food shelter, they will get fed.
Okay, but I'm talking, housing.
For housing. If we have Section 8 subsidized housing in this country, right? If you want to have a roof over your head, you can have a roof over your head.
The parts of CRT that I think are most relevant and, very factually, you can, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of evidence for them, is the fact that previous inequalities, such as the institution of slavery, such as our treatment of Native Americans, do in fact affect those populations today. And you were saying before, in inner cities, there's a lot more crime, and a lot of that is because of redlining and other practices that come directly from the mistreatment of minorities previously in this country.
So I want to make sure I understand. So black people make up 13% of the American population.
Oh, 1350, my favorite.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Why do they commit 55% of all the murders?
Super great question. It's basically a very complex intersection of race and economic status. It's pretty well known that minority people tend to be in a lower economic status because of discrimination that they face.
So then why don't poor Asians commit a lot of murders?
Also a great question. Asian people weren't originally brought to America on purpose like black people, and they weren't already present here like natives.
So blacks murder because they were brought here 250 years ago?
No, I would like to finish.
Okay, just answer. It's very simple.
I am answering.
No, I know, but you're not really.
I am. Asian Americans predominantly immigrate here for work reasons. They come from already wealthy countries. They're already wealthy when they get here. Crime is committed primarily by
First of all,
poorer
that's not
people.
true. Talk to anybody from who's Vietnamese? Anybody? Did your family come here wealthy?
No.
Yes
not
and
wealthy,
no. Okay.
but not.
Yes
I'm not
or
saying
no?
they come
No.
here. Okay.
The average Vietnamese does not come here wealthy.
I'm not. Okay. I perhaps misspoke.
I'm not trying to argue that a human is worth more than an animal. I'm saying that even if a human is worth more than an animal, you should give animals respect.
I do give animals respect. We should treat them humanely. If you are to eat them, you should kill them in a way that does not have unjust suffering.
What about milk? But animals are raped all the time. Cows are raped to produce milk. Yeah, to produce milk, a cow has to be impregnated, and it's not like these farmers are waiting for the animal to get pregnant naturally. They have to be forcibly inseminated, which is a form of rape.
I actually think it's a great thing that we have dairy.
Okay, but I don't think that that drinking milk in and of itself is bad. But saying that animals can be raped is okay. That's beyond me.
You think that cows are being raped? I got to be honest.
Yes.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never heard that before.
Yes, but they are raped because they're not referred to as being raped. They're said to be forcibly inseminated. How come that's okay, but raping a small child is not?
I would not.
Yeah.
Welcome to Boulder.
I don't support raping anyone.
I don't support raping human beings. I wouldn't call extracting milk from a cow the same as what happens if a woman is raped by some savage.
I'm not talking about extracting milk. I'm talking about when you inseminate a cow to get it pregnant so it can produce milk. Yes.
Yeah, not that worried about that.
Why not? Do you not think their suffering is worth anything?
I think their suffering's fine. Again, they're not human beings, and whatever allows the human being to flourish is what we should be concerned about. And I think it's a good thing that human beings are able to have meat, beef, and dairy. And so,
okay, but
I appreciate your exactly. Yeah. How many did the cows build the railroads? Like, I mean.
No, but you still have to treat them with respect. Kids don't build railroads, do they?
Yeah, but they grow up to adults. Yes, cows hit a plateau. I can't believe I have to explain this. Cows eventually plateau in their ability to reason.
I'm not talking about a plateau in ability. I'm talking about suffering at that moment.
Right.
Is it okay if you know a kid is never going to grow to adulthood, like if you had like a crystal ball or something, is that okay to kill them and rape them then?
No, of course not, because it's still a human being with a soul and a cow is not. But I just want to make sure we are consistent, just so we're consistent. Do you believe that we should limit the unjust suffering of insects?
Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe in intentionally killing insects either.
So you don't believe that we should spray for mosquitoes even if they're carrying diseases that kill humans?
Well, if they're threatening me, then it's self-defense.
Oh, okay, got it.
But a cow didn't do anything. A cow is innocent.
But what if the cow is feeding me a human being?
But you can get nutrients. The World Health Organization has already said that a vegan diet is completely healthy for all ages.
And the World Health Organization has never lied about anything the last couple of years.
No, but they stand by that.
They have a perfect record when it came to COVID and masks and the vaccine and all. So I just want to be very clear. The push for veganism is a push for the androgenization of the American man. We need to get testosterone rates up, not down. And you do that by eating meat and not eating soybeans.
Charlie Kirk wins. Comment who you thought won.